Okay, welcome everybody to another episode of the Trading Vault. And today we've got Izzy and we've got Ash, better known as Leadership Monhla. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but that's my first try. And I just want to welcome the guys onto this podcast. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for Vault Markets for giving us this opportunity to talk to traders and guys who have made it in the industry. And I'm going to give Izzy and Ash both the opportunity to introduce themselves. So Izzy, first up.
Thank you, Chris, for having me. Thank you, Vault Markets, for having me today here. I'm really honored to be here. For those who don't know me, my name is Isaac, but I'm mainly known as Isaac Izzy, Mr. Gold, the guy with the gold cards, right? So yeah, man, I'm one of the biggest traders in SA. Been trading since 2014. So yeah, man, it's been quite an interesting journey. And then, I met my brother Ash around about 2015, 2016 there, and then we've been brothers ever since in the game, empowering and impacting lives since 2016 until today. We're still doing it, going strong, yeah, man. And I'm looking forward to be part of this podcast so we can share more knowledge and motivate, other traders to get to the level where we are right now. Thank you.
Awesome. Ash, give us a little bit of an introduction to yourself, quick little breakdown as to who you are, where you come from, and where you're at.
Yeah, good day to everyone, obviously, that's watching. Well, everyone knows me as Ash, but, all over wherever I move, they call me Leadership Monhla initially because I'm a leader, in my reign, wherever I am, I'm just continuously leading, creating leaders, through the foreign exchange industry. So Instagram, Leadership Monhla, been around for about, I'd say 5 years, been around. When I came in, I was the youngest guy in the industry, you would, when they were speaking about young and upcoming forex traders, and you're looking at the guys who are moving with big cars, that was me, 18, 17 years of age, and we're doing big numbers, so that was always my catalog and how I came into the industry. So obviously, that's how where the whole leadership identity came from, like, this young guy, and he just seems to be doing big stuff. And ever since then, obviously, things have changed positively. Grown financially in the industry, rubbing hands with bigger traders, and obviously having a chance to, when I met Isaac, I got a bit wiser as well in the industry, because obviously he's older than me, he knows better, and exchanging with him was obviously a blessing, and obviously a whole lot of other people that I've learned to grow with the industry. But yeah, my name Leadership Monhla, and I'd recommend myself, or I would say I'm best, because obviously the youngest, most powerful. I'd say Africa's best. I don't know, people argue that a lot.
Okay, so we've got two of the best on here, guys. And I think a question that most of the viewers and listeners, and especially new traders out there, would always ask is, how did you guys get into the forex trading industry? What sparked that interest? Who introduced you? And how did you get into this profession of trading forex?
Okay, yeah, man. For me, I was introduced by a friend, right? So I had a corporate job that I was doing back in the day. So, and there was this friend of mine that I grew up with, and I saw him doing big things, man, driving, brand new cars and all of that, making all this money. And then I asked him, yo, what is this thing that you are doing? You know what I mean? Because I've always had the mentality of, I always wanted to be independent, do my own thing and build my own empire. And obviously I wasn't going to do that with the 9 to 5 corporate job, you know what I mean? So I've always been looking for opportunities where I can create, extra income. So Forex happened to be one of the things that I was like, this is something that I can invest my time and effort into knowing, because I've seen what it does for my friend, somebody that I grew up with. So I saw the results and the transition happening right in front of my eyes. With my competitive mentality, I was like, if that guy can do it, I can also do it, man. So then, yeah, I joined 2014, and then it's been a great journey, man. I remember I was one of the lucky ones, A lot of people, when they come in the industry, they say, I've been losing. I made a profit of 87,000 Rand the first day I placed my trade. You know what I mean? So for me, that was like, and I didn't even know what I was doing. It was a lucky shot, So for me to say, I've seen this from first day that it works. Obviously, from then I had my challenges because then I had to learn the craft. But then I knew that it was going to work because my first day when I traded, it was a matter of there's the money. You know what I mean? So that's how I joined or how I was introduced to the industry, to the foreign exchange industry. And then I never looked back.
Ash, give us a scoop as to how you started, how you got introduced, or
Yeah, man. I think with mine, Chris, is it's quite straightforward. I think I was actually going through Facebook. I don't know if it was Facebook or at the time. I think Facebook was very famous at the time. Oh yeah, so I'm just scrolling through and I'm hearing these things about Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin? Yeah, and I'm just searching through. Oh, stock exchange, and I went on to Google trying to follow up. Obviously, Instagram. So I'm trying to get a bit of a clue what's really going on, and I'm just seeing is this people with money and good life. I'm like, no, I went onto YouTube now. I'm trying to follow up what's really going on. So and I'm trying. Obviously now things are not making sense for me. It sounds like, hey, this thing does not look like something I could actually try. And then obviously I got myself just familiar with it from YouTube and all of the watching different videos from other people. And then as time went, I think it was about 2 years later, about a year and a half later, I realized there was some guy who was doing it. I was like, hey, this guy, where is he from? Pretoria, And obviously at the time it was Jason Noah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Jason, does this guy even, is he around? Is he South African? And when I looked at the location on Instagram, I saw Pretoria. I'm like, damn it, I'm going to find this guy. If it's real, if I see it with him, then I'm going to go in. And then I managed to get him. And, I think the day I was supposed to meet up with him, I couldn't go because my mom was sick. So the next day, I made arrangements, then got myself. And at that time, I'm living in a back room. So I got myself in a taxi, Joburg, Pretoria. Where are you? Arcadia. I go to Arcadia. And I found him. That was, I would say, my realistic introduction to the industry. But obviously, in terms of how I got inside, it was literally just from research, YouTube and everything. But for me to actually believe the industry works, I needed to see somebody doing it. And then I came across Jason, and I saw the cars, I saw the life, I saw how he was dressing, I saw the food he was eating. I'm like, no ways, this thing has to be real. So from there, I actually believed it worked. But yeah, initially was how I came to the industry. It was just from research and YouTube, but I just didn't believe it from YouTube. So I had to follow up on something more realistic, and I did.
Opinion I want to get from you guys, and obviously also myself being in the industry for over 6 years, would you say that with the mass adoption we've seen with Forex trading in general, would you say the market has changed in terms of how it moves and how it moved, say, 5-6 years ago? Because what I've seen personally is that the moves have gotten a lot smaller in terms of the Forex pairs as to 5-6 years ago, where, for instance, with the NFP, you had a 200, 300 pip move, where currently with NFP, you don't even have a 50 to 60 pip move straight after the news. Would you guys say the market has died down a bit in terms of volatility, or would you say it's still the same?
Now, for me, I would say obviously because with the influx of new traders coming into the market, obviously the market is going to react because of all those people coming with different positions into it. I definitely agree with you. Back in the day when we used to trade, my favorite pair used to be USD, JPY, and gold. And NFP, we used to kill it with those big candlesticks, those big moves. So now it's like NFP is not even that big of a thing anymore because it's just like, it's just going to move for a couple of pips. And it's like, it's really not even worth trading for. You're excited to trade NFP anymore. So I definitely agree with you. The market has changed in terms of how it moves and the volatility of it,
As
Yeah,
yourself?
no, for sure. I think I'd agree with them obviously, but on a different breakdown. With me, I remember when I first became like an NFP guy, I knew like I could literally just sit, not trade the whole week, and when I get that Friday, I know I'm sorted. Like for the next 2 weeks, but now the moves have changed, man. It's you can't even, your predictions can't even be that strong. Like I mean the previous NFP, you really have to be very specific with the pair you go with. Your skills really need to be sharp. Yeah, you really have to. I would say initially, if you're an NFP guy, you really need to be big on technical as well. I mean building up. So what I normally do is just build up to the week, build up. Then when the Friday comes, I know even if I just walk away with $200 or $1,000, if I was targeting a $5,000 or something, the little that I get, I'll just walk away because it's not the way it was. I remember my first NFP, like it was, I'm like, I'm done. I'll see next week or something, So, but now it's not the same. But I think Isaac is right. Maybe with with other people coming on board and the volume increasing of the industry, then I guess maybe it does create the slight traffic, and it kind of because there is a major change. It's not the NFP, I know, but I'll still trade it. I'll still trade it. I still wait for it every month. So yeah.
Yeah, also what I've seen is that for the majority of the time, especially this year, running up to NFP, you would actually see that the market is already pricing in the numbers. I don't know if the numbers are getting slipped to, say, some high net worth individuals or to some of the hedge funds, but you can see a lot of it's priced in. And then usually also what happens is that the first move is the false move that basically triggers the guys' sell stops or buy stops, and then shortly after that grabbing all of the liquidity, then just running to the other side and just blitzing the guys out of the market. So that's something that I've been picking up this entire year in terms of NFP, and even in some cases guys trading with pending orders, buy stops and sell stops getting triggered at the same time, and then you're sitting with the drawdown and you've got a bad fill with slippage in terms of the market. So NFP definitely not as easy as it used to be with trading with pending orders, but it's good to hear what you guys think about it, and also to the viewers out there in terms of trading NFP. One of the questions I do want to ask, and I'm really excited about this question, is that what was the biggest revelation for you guys in your trading? Obviously, starting out, you guys are going through a lot of education, you're going through a lot of entry setups, different trading strategies, trading different times. But what was the thing that really clicked for you guys where you thought, listen here, I've got this thing sorted out, I'm feeling really comfortable with my trading, I'm ready to really dive into it head first? What was that moment for you in your trading?
Yeah, man, for me, it was, as you're saying, man, we had to go through a whole lot of, unnecessary information for us to get to the holy grail, you know what I mean? From indicators to, information, double tops, head and shoulders, moving averages, stochastics, all those things that we had to go through. But I think for me, the biggest thing was when I started trading market structure, naked trading. And I was like, this is a price action, just looking at the market with the naked chart, and started learning how the market behaves, how different pairs behave. So when I got exposed to that level of knowledge and information about, price action, then that was the moment for me. I was like, okay, now I feel I am a comfortable trader, even when I'm in a drawdown, but because of my confidence in understanding how the market moves, I won't panic, and I can, exercise patience, which is one of the most important virtues as a Forex trader. So for me, it is that just the moment when I discovered, naked trading, we used to call it naked trading back in the day. So
but it's not you trading naked, eh?
Yeah, it's not, no. Let's get that right. It's not me. I need to be fully dressed. Okay. So yeah, man, I think for me, that was the moment when I was like, okay, now I think I got it.
Yeah, because ultimately price is going to be the main thing. So all information, everything that's known to the market, news, fundamentals, is ultimately going to reflect in price. And I think that's why just following price, you take away all of that noise. And I think guys should really start focusing on price action, getting rid of all that fluff that a lot of traders or a lot of mentors out there try to add onto the trading and just complicate things. Ash, what would you say was that light bulb moment for you?
For me, I mean, there's robots, there's there's a whole lot of things that I went through, being sold, being, obviously I with my practice, it got to a point where I realized, I don't think that this whole robot, it's not really working out, till a point where I actually just went back to all that I've acquired and all my skills. And I just sat down and looked at what actually moves the market, what actually could give me the easiest way to actually understand what I'm going through. And I looked at it, I'm like, no, technical, like the naked trading, Isaac would say, that for me is technical. When I just look at it, I see that high, I see the low, I look at the H1, 30 minutes, 1 minute, I follow up on all time frames. And if it makes sense for me, I just take the buy. I wouldn't want to complicate it any further. Once I'm looking at a moving average and and all of that. It just really makes my training really complicated. And at the end of the day, I end up losing with so much unnecessary information. So I put a lot of things aside, and I just focused on exactly what I needed to do. And honestly, if you look at my chart, even now when I trade, it's a simple, very clear. Even if you're not the best trader or have the best knowledge, you literally can see what I was doing and what I was trying to identify. And that's just how I trade. Like, I don't even need to do much, So that for me is easy, no stress.
Something that I've also told traders and aspiring traders is that trading is a game of probabilities. It's not about being right or wrong. And even one simple thing that I taught a few traders is that just looking at the previous day's candle, if we can see that we're clearly in a bullish mode, why would you want to sell a bullish market structure? So there already you've shifted the probability to 50% in your favor, because it's now not of buying or selling. You're only purely looking for buys. So already you're 50% there. So there's a higher probability that the market is going to go with you. Simple stuff like that, not taking, say, more than 2 trades a day. That's going to allow you to be in the industry or basically stay in the industry for years to come and not try and overtrade. Simple little things, just shifting the probability into your favor, making sure that you can stick around, say, 3, 6, 12 months up until you get to that stage where you break even, and then slowly but surely starting to turn a profit in the market. So definitely something to worth noting for the guys. Also, one thing that I want to ask you guys have been in the industry for 5-6 years. That's a testament of being in the industry, going through the ups and the downs. What would you say is an inspirational thing or something that you can tell new traders in terms of what they can do to stay in the market, to become profitable, and guys that aspire to be like you guys that are basically full-time traders making it? What tip can you give new traders in the industry?
For me, there's a couple of things that I would say, but maybe let me just say a few. But one is, I'd say surround yourself with like-minded people. In every journey of life, you can never do anything successful alone. You know what I mean? So you surround yourself with like-minded people. Like the relationship between me and my brother, even when I'm at my lowest, I know I can have somebody who can say, hey, get up. You know what I mean? You got this. This is what you do. Sometimes when you're going through stresses or whatever emotionally, you cannot see certain things. But if you have somebody that around you that has a clear mind, can then now tell you, hey, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. You know what I mean? So for me, that would be number one, surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And then number two is just have the discipline to just go after your goals. You know what I mean? It's in life, just like how the market moves, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be bullish and there's going to be bearish moments in your life. But just because the market is bearish doesn't mean it's not going to be bullish. You know what I mean? It's just a consolidation. It's just a retest. And that's what's happening with us. So even when you at that moment, you need to stay focused. You know what I mean? It's not really about the technical. It's not really about how much money you put. It's just about the focus. You know what I mean? So you need to be focused on your goals and don't shy away from your goals. Don't let the bearish movements shy you away from your take profits. You know what I mean? So yeah, for me, that would be it. Don't lose focus of the bigger picture, and then surround yourself with like-minded people.
I really like that. Ash, what would you say? What tip can you give aspiring traders?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'll speak from my own experience. When I first came to the industry, there was a whole lot of inspirations. The lifestyle and how people live. That was my biggest. What I just wanted. I was like, I need to get that. But when I actually came into the industry, when I started, having a feel of what it's like, I realized I needed to just sit back and firstly, obviously, have my own trading plan. Actually realize, do I actually have the skills? Do I have enough skills to actually go into this field? Not just because now I want to see that car on the car or the house, whatever. So firstly, just make sure your skill is really right. You're actually using the right information to get them to actually go into the market. There's a lot of people. I sit with a lot of traders that are young and upcoming, and sometimes I'm like, I really need to talk to this guy on the side privately because I don't think he's using the right information to actually. There's no way that he would go with what he's trying to obviously use to succeed. So the first thing is having the right knowledge, definitely having the right mentor for that. That's what I would say. There's no way you could actually break through into an industry and just become the richest or the best that you can be without no guidance at all. That does not make sense at all. So especially if you don't have any sort of knowledge whatsoever. So that's the first thing I definitely say. People must get good knowledge. And secondly, is just being professional. This industry is not puppet and place. It's not it's not, I don't know, it's not selling a plate at a corner store. It's actually something professional. People live from this industry. There's some of us who actually have never had a paycheck before that. I've never worked anywhere. I've never compiled a CV at any point of my life. So this industry is actually alive. It's something that we use to rely on. So when I see people speaking down on it like it's some fly by night thing, it's like, hey, brother, you know that I actually eat on this. So this is actually, people should actually take it more serious. Like it's a proper profession. Like I always say, if you get hired at a company, if you could wake up 8 o'clock in the morning and come back at 5 just for 5,000 rand, and then you've got a field that doesn't need you to be in the office, doesn't need you to, you just need to have data, a smartphone, and a certain level of knowledge, which does not need you to be smart or intelligent or be this guru in the head or something, then you can easily just commit. In the morning, I wake up, my first thing I do in the morning, I have my coffee, go into the office, and I just look at my screen. I look at what I did yesterday, how the week has been, simple stuff. So just being able to be professional, putting all the other things aside, and you just putting your work first. That's what I would do. And so I recommend that that's the second part, be very professional. And just it would save a lot of losses as well. These things of saying, no, I Forex, I just need 5,000 and I'll come back. No, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I tend to agree with everything you guys said, and I think the unfortunate thing about Forex, it's not a thing where you can spend 12 or 15 hours and say 15 hours worth of work is basically gonna result in, say, progression or even result in you making money. That's the unfortunate thing about trading. It's not like a 9 to 5. If I work hard in a 9 to 5, obviously I'll progress, I'll climb the ranks, there's overtime being paid. And the very unfortunate thing in the industry is guys will spend hours and hours and look at thousands of charts, but they actually have the wrong knowledge, and all of that time is time wasted, and they don't actually know how to apply the knowledge that they've learned. And now they're spending hours and hours and basically not getting anywhere. Where, like you mentioned, Ash, like you mentioned, Izzy, if you're professional, if you've got the right knowledge, and then you actually just apply that and basically backtest that, slowly but surely start building your account, having proper risk management, showing up every day on time. If you're trading a specific time slot, if you say trading NYSE or if you're trading London, you need to show up every day. There are days I've even seen with myself where I sit through 2 sessions and you don't take one trade. And that's what I tell guys. You spend maybe 8 to 10 hours and you did not get paid, where somebody else got his paycheck basically for that day's work, where we sat for say 8-10 hours not executing one trade. But if I did not sit there and there was an opportunity in the market, then also I wasn't there to take the trade and you're also not getting paid. So definitely agree, very structured, professional. That bad stigma about Forex trading is something that I think we need to clear out of the market. This is not a casino for a lot of us. This is our profession. This is our job. This is what we do full time. And I think, like you guys said, sometimes we do not get the respect that is due to this, because this is most probably the most, I would say, psychological taxing industry in the world. That's why you won't see guys in the industry for 5 to 10 years. Basically they're out, especially in the professional industry. If you're a hedge fund trader, prop trader for big firms, it's a very taxing industry. So really like what you guys said there. Also, last but not least, quickly give us a bit of a glimpse as to what your guys' plans are for the future in the industry for the rest of the year. And obviously going forward, what do you guys envision for yourself and for the Forex industry in South Africa?
Isaac, life puts you on the spotlight when it comes to this. Whenever it comes to speaking about our initial plans of the future, Izzy and I, obviously I'll start with our brotherhood. I think him and I, just as brothers, I think the future is definitely wider for us. We've got a lot of things planned together in terms of the empowerment, touching lives. I've got a lot of things planned on my own. I think it's actually my birthday month next month, so I've got a tour that's coming. It's a free nationwide tour. I'll doing all 9 provinces, teaching people how to trade for free, at no price, no charge at all. So I do that. I mean, it took me quite about 3 years for me to be at that comfortable financial level to be like, I could travel with my whole team to every single province, and finance them and feed them and accommodate them, and book all the venues and have these people come at a free price. That's one thing I always wanted to do. So I've been doing it for about 2 years now. This is my second year. So I think to close of the year and I close it on a high, I'll be doing like a birthday tour, doing the whole country. Hopefully we can probably skip into the neighboring countries, like Namibia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, but we'll see how the year ends. And yeah, man, that's what I've got planned in the nearby. That's just a month ahead. But going forward, the next year, 2022, it's going to be a storm. It's going to be a storm. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I like that where you're giving away free education and paying it forward. It's always good paying it forward. It's better to give than to receive. And Absolutely. Awesome, brother. Really respect you on that. And good luck with that, mate. Be a great success.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay, yeah, man. With obviously, you said we have a lot of plans. When it comes to empowerment, both of us. We actually next year we're gonna be collaborating as well. My tour has already started as well. I'm pushing free classes. As I was telling you earlier, yesterday we were doing Joburg, and then the other day we were doing Pretoria. So this is what we do, man. This is what I feel like we have a responsibility, and I call myself king and he calls himself leadership. These titles come with a lot of responsibility. You know what I mean? And the responsibility is not a selfish responsibility, but it is, if you're a king, you cannot be a king alone without followers. And if you're a leader, you cannot be a leader alone without followers. So leadership is about serving the people. It's not about serving yourself. It's not about how many people follow you. It's about how many people you serve. You know what I mean? So this is something me and my brother have in common, the empowerment to see our brothers and sisters, living the best life that they can, they can imagine, because we know where we come from, our backgrounds and everything. And we have that compassion to say, we don't want other people to experience that or to have that as their reality. There is, a different reality, a life of abundance, a life of luxury, not really a life of flexing, but a life of being comfortable and be able to get to a point where life is not even about you anymore. It's about, giving to other people. You know what I mean? So that has always been the plan. That will always be the plan. Everything else will stem out of that. But yeah, we do have bigger plans for 2022. There's going to be a collaboration between me and leadership. Going forward, we want to see, South Africans, at least in each and every household, to be a Forex trader. At least one person in each and every household in South Africa to be a Forex trader, which is why now we are spreading this free information, spending our own money, paying for the venues, the transport, taking the whole team there, because we understand one thing, the power of multiplicity, right? So if I can teach one person to trade effectively, if that person knows 3 people and he teaches them, and those 3 people know 5 people and they teach them, I've touched a whole group of people with the information that I had. You know what I mean? So that is the vision for us going forward. Maybe in the next 5 to 10 years, at least in each and every household, there should be a Forex trader. You know what I mean?
Awesome, Jan. So, also to add on to the leadership, I think starts at home. Starts at your community. Strong leadership builds strong families, builds strong communities, and builds strong countries. And I think definitely in the time that we're at in South Africa, and just as a nation as a whole, we actually need young leaders to really step it up and be an example for guys to follow. And I really respect you guys for going out there, being that leadership, obviously having eyes on you. And honestly, guys, all the best for that. All the best for the year-end tour. Keep basically being those leaders in the industry. Keep motivating guys, and especially keep on doing good. I really, really appreciate your time, guys. This was an awesome podcast. We're definitely going to have you guys on again to run through a little bit of a more technical session. I think this is more just for the guys to see what is Izzy about, what is leadership about. And I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for coming onto this call. And also just for Vault Markets for giving us traders the opportunity to chat to one another, to build community and to uplift and to really go out there and be the difference. So Izzy, Ash, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. May you guys have a blessed and an awesome week, and we will chat very soon. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you,
Man,
we really
thank you for having us. Thank you for having us, man. We appreciate you, Vault Markets. We appreciate you. We appreciate you so much for the things that you do, for what you're doing for the country. And thank you for having us, man. And to everybody that's watching, we wish you guys all the best.